can't see you, but I am assuming your thumb is up. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shabbat Shalom. It is quite a moment to be celebrating Shabbat right now. It has been a week of so much emotion, so many ups, so many downs, both the large ones that have taken place on a national scale, and of course each one of us are living the lives that take us up and down on a daily basis. And so I think this week of all weeks, let's begin with a really deep breath. Let's breathe it in and then let's let out anything that we have been holding from the past week. Let's breathe it in and then breathe out to find that space for Shabbat peace within ourselves. Let's do that together. Feel that space? We create that space within ourselves, that space to let Shabbat settle in and become a part of us. Now that we have that space, let's welcome Shabbat with light. I'm going to go down to the podium down there to light our Shabbat candles. You won't be able to hear me when I get down there, but you know the words. If you're not sure, they're on page 120 in your prayer book. And as we let the light of Shabbat in tonight, I want to acknowledge that that is one of the ways that we create that space, through our Shabbat light. So if you need to do something else in the space that you are in order to make it feel more like Shabbat, now is your moment. It might be putting your phone away, if you're watching on the big TV. If you're watching on your phone, maybe turning off the big TV. If, there's a big noise happening, your kid's practicing the drum kit, you can go close the door of their bedroom. Whatever it is you need to do to create that space that is just for you tonight, just for you and those with whom you are appreciating this moment. And as we get started, I also just want to send regards and love from Cantor Ettinger and Rabbi Kahn, who are not able to be here tonight, but we know you're out there. We know you're making this space too, just as you make this space for us. So we imagine ourselves in a joyful moment. Think back to one of your happiest times. Think back to what it felt like, how you experienced it, and bring yourself a piece of that joy as we turn to Lecha Dodi, which you can find on page 138 and 139, or page 20 and 21 of your prayer book. We'll sing the first verse the 5th verse, and then stand to greet the Shabbat bride for the 9th verse. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha, hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, Kiva orech kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Let's stand as we greet the joy, greet the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha u'tzochola, toch emunei am segula, boi kala, boi kala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabela. We turn in our prayer books to the Chatzi Kaddish, which you can find on page 144 or page 26. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, uvizman kari vehimeru, amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevorach, le'alam ulal me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'ale, v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha berichu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, ve'imeru, amen. We take a moment now to ask for God's blessings on those who are observing a period of Shiva or Shloshim, the immediate 7 and 30-day mourning periods. If you wish to, we invite you to stand at this time so that we may ask for God's blessings upon you. We know we can't see you standing, but we feel your presence, and we offer you ours. Habakom yenachem etchem, may you be comforted among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. Turn to page 146 or page 28. standing on our feet or rising spiritually in our hearts as we turn to the Baruch Hu. Let's turn to the next page, offering our gratitude for the enduring rotation of day into night and night back to day and back again. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitbuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 151 or 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai You may be seated if you are standing. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta b'ham Beshivtecha beveitecha uvlachtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, emet. Turning to page 158 or page 40, we find our way to Mi Chamocha, the song of celebration, the song of freedom, the song of excitement for things to come. And yet, as we remember the story of the Israelites, we see them in our mind's eye crossing the sea, and we know that it wasn't all joy and excitement, but perhaps trepidation too, perhaps fear, perhaps worry about what there is to come. And I want to share with you, no details, but I had the incredible privilege today of creating two Jews, two young people, two married people who came to me years ago, probably 2 years ago, to talk about converting to Judaism. And it was a long path, and it was a hard path, but it was a path that was made easier because they chose to walk this path together. And even though either one of them would have been fine on their own, they were strengthened by having someone to walk this journey with. So as we turn to Mi Chamocha, as we think about the precipice that we stand on, think also about the person whose hand you can grasp, maybe not physically, but even metaphorically. Who is it who can give you strength as we walk along this way? Is always saying, all together now, let's sing together. Let me know you're singing with me. Send me some vibes. Speaking of singing together, speaking of being together, let's turn to the Hashkivenu, our prayer for protection. When I was working with the 7th graders yesterday, I think it was, yes, that was Thursday, they were talking about how they felt scared. And so during Tefillah, we sang this prayer because it is one that helps many of us feel a little less afraid, a little less worried. The good that we bring to one another. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha. Amen. righteous God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Take another one of those deep breaths. Create that space for Shabbat, the space where we keep Shabbat, the space where Shabbat keeps us. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We turn now to the Amidah, to our standing prayer. And of course, it is up to you how you choose to position yourself. But at least find for yourself a place where you can connect and feel connected to all of us and also to yourself as we begin on page 164 or page 46. Adonai tzifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei v'Nehem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Let's be seated. Turning to page 55 or 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day, and may all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day, and may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Let's take some time for our own private reflection, our own personal prayers. We'll come back together on page 180 or page 62. Let's turn in our prayer books to our prayer for healing. You can find Misha Berach on page 371. If you'll give me a moment to flip. I heard the most beautiful thing today, the most beautiful interpretation, page 371 or 253. What I heard was that each one of us ought to act as if we are the answer to someone else's prayer. What would it mean for each one of us to not only pray the words of Misha Berach, but also to act as if we are the answer to the prayer of someone who is praying that earnest prayer for healing? What would it mean to try our best to bring that, to put aside our own fear, our own discomfort? It's hard to do. It's hard to do, but what if we could? What if we tried to be that answer? Tonight we are wishing a refuah shlema, a speedy recovery to Bill Adler, Lois Arnold, Brenda Cancinos, Gershon Ben Miriam, Yetta Gettleman, David Goodman, Susan Goodman, Alex Goldman and Jacob Goldman, Tina Gomberg, Hallie Gratis, Natalie Hilton, Jeff Klein, Dan Kobilka, Jadel Plotkin, Rachalea Bat Baruch, Carmen Rodriguez, Cooper Romanelli, Lee Ronald, Sally Rosenblum, Verdame Ruland, Roberta Scharf, Kathleen Smith, Michael Peeler Smith, Kathy Sudhalter, Jim Unruh, and Vikta Chana Basia Bat Shlomo. You are more than welcome to include any other names that you're thinking of tonight, anyone else for whom you are praying for healing in the chat on YouTube or wherever else we have it playing. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. In the same breath that we ask for healing, we turn to the prayers for our country and the prayer for the state of Israel, which you can find on page 376 or page 258. And you might think that the prayer for our country that we would offer tonight is different than every other night, except that I think what we are praying for, what we are hoping for, that perfect prayer that we are striving for, is no different now than it ever has been. But perhaps we need to both pray it harder and work it harder. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes and our plazas and our capitals be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and in spirit. As we say together, Amen. Avinu shebashamayim, tzur Yisrael v'goalo, barech et medinat Yisrael, reshit tzmichat geulatenu. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Sarah. Thank you. Nice to see you. Oh, I wish we could schmooze. Well, Shabbat shalom. So where were you on Wednesday? I know that you remember where you were, and I know that you will always remember because, as it turns out, Wednesday became one of those where were you when days. I'm sure you remember where you were when man first landed on the moon. I'm sure you remember where you were when Martin Luther King Jr. or John F. Kennedy or Yitzhak Rabin were assassinated. You remember where you were when you first heard that a plane hit the Twin Towers. And you will always remember where you were during the assault on the Capitol. Wednesday, January 6th, 2021, has already become a part of our national story and a part of today's narrative. I was here at CBI, one of the few people in the office that day. I was trying to get some work done, to send emails and return phone calls, while I also had one eye turned to the news, trying to piece together the confusing story that was trickling in. The depth of what had happened didn't really sink in for me until later that day. I had the radio on in the car, and my daughter asked me to please, in her words, "Put a different show on, Mommy. This one is too scary." She's right. It was scary. It is scary. And we will not forget the images that we saw of our nation's capital under siege. We scroll through. There are our representatives being escorted out of the chamber wearing evacuation hoods. There are police officers with guns drawn as intruders attempt to break in. There is an invader hanging from the balcony, dressed in black and attempting to drop down and desecrate the sacred democratic process. These photos became a part of the story of America in 2021. And in these photos, we see our own experience of Wednesday reflected. We remember where we were when we saw these photos. In this week's Parsha, we begin to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. We see ourselves in the narrative because this too is our experience. And as we begin to read from Parshat Shmot, we find ourselves hiding between the lines of our sacred text. We imagine ourselves scrolling through the images. There is Yocheved, crouched on the birth stool, afraid to bring her baby into a society that is eager to do away with him. There is Pharaoh, enraged with the tenacity and fertility of the Israelites, heart hardened, decreeing that all firstborn Israelite sons be killed. And there is big sister Miriam, eyes wide, weaving a basket in which she will soon place her baby brother. There is Pharaoh's daughter, gazing wistfully at the Nile River and wishing for a child of her own. In the background of these images are two young women. Trained in the art of midwifery, they calmly wipe Yocheved's brow, coaxing her to push through the fear. And together they bring this baby into the world. And instead of leaving him to die, as they are ordered to do, they place him onto his exhausted mother's chest. This is a day that they will always remember, the day that they defied Pharaoh simply by opening their hearts to the miracle of human life. We read in Parshat Shmot, Vayomer Melech Mitzrayim la'am yaldot ha'avirot asher shem ha'achat shifra v'shem ha'shenit pua. Vayomer vayad lechen et ha'avirot uritain al ha'av naim im ben hu v'hamitenoto v'im bat hi v'chaya. Vatirena ham yaldot et ha'elohim v'lo asu ka'asher diber alehen melech Mitzrayim v'ha'ayena et hayeladim. The king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shifra and the other Pua, saying, when you deliver the Hebrew women, look at the birth stool. If it is a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let her live. And the midwives, fearing God, did not do as the king of Egypt had told them. They let the boys live. I imagine Shifra and Pua walking silently away from the birthing tent, knowing that what has just transpired between them, the silent decision to let a baby live, is no small thing at all. This ordinary birth, this typical day at work for these two midwives, becomes an act of strength and defiance that is eventually recorded and then told for generations yet to come as we remember that we too were slaves in Egypt. We too were the mothers giving birth in the reeds of the Nile. We too stacked bricks and mortar for pyramids in the bitter desert heat. We too were the courageous midwives, Shifra and Pua. These stories of perseverance are our stories of perseverance too. But this week, it has been hard to let our minds rest on the stories of our past when the stories of our present are so urgent. We scroll through more photographs. There is the representative from Colorado taking the hand of the representative from Pennsylvania. He calms her as they take cover beneath the chairs. There are our U.S. Capitol police officers risking their own lives as they try to stop the rioters from entering the building. And then there is one more photo that has caught my eye again and again. It is of two women, Senate aides, calmly carrying the crucial electoral ballot boxes out of the building. You can almost hear their silent conversation. What has transpired between them as they have done their jobs, it turns out, is no small thing at all. The photo of these two aides has gone viral. Author Glennon Doyle posted their picture on Instagram saying, "Here are the women who had the presence of mind and the courage to protect, keep safe, and transport the electoral votes before fleeing the Senate." I gaze at the picture. I reread the comments about their clear minds and courageous acts. Could I ever be so bold? I worry that I lack the bravery that should have been instilled in me by my ancestors, by Shifra and Pua, by Yocheved and Miriam. Ometz lev, courage, or bravery, is a Jewish midah, a Jewish virtue that we hold up as our individual responsibility. But how, in a world that feels scarier than it should, how do we make ourselves brave? How do we become courageous enough to live in a world where ideas can turn into violence? Midrash Tehillim teaches that one becomes a hero, not by pushing someone off of a roof, but by grasping the hand of a person who is about to fall. In other words, bravery does not have to be a big act. And the midah, Ometz lev, supports this. The phrase itself means not courage, but literally strength, ometz, of the heart, lev. Or more simply, heart strength. Courage, we learn, is as natural as breathing. Ometz lev is as simple as a beating, pulsing heart. Pharaoh's heart was hard, and the rioters, their hearts were hardened too, but ours don't have to be. Our hearts open and close as they contract and expand, They allow blood and oxygen to enter. Our hearts are muscles that are working, always working to nourish even the furthest parts of ourselves. This heart strength is unconscious. It pulses and it beats as we simply, bravely do our jobs as citizens and as Jews. Ometz Lev is our heartfelt inclination to reach out a hand to one who is falling, to repair a slippery roof, to make the world better and braver with these small, manageable, purposeful acts of kindness and courage. We might not go viral, but it is vital. It is vital to remember what happened on Wednesday as the beginning of our nation's healing. Like the midwives' small rebellion was just the first step towards the exodus from Egypt. Our part in the story is what comes next. Together, we summon the Ometz Lev that will move us past this difficult year and into a sweeter, kinder, more promising day ahead. We summon our courage, and we bravely, boldly do our part to uphold the sanctity of life, to pursue the promise of liberty, and to hold up every happiness with the strength of these beautiful and beating hearts. Amen. So as we look to the days ahead, there is much more coming up. We invite you to study Torah tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Zoom. You can find the link in your email or on the website. Then Lunch and Learn continues on Tuesday at noon. There was some confusion if it was last week or this week. It begins this week with, this is cute, Conversations with Rabbi Khan. The link will be sent out next week for these one-on-one interview-style sessions on a variety of topics, so anyone can log in. The Zoom link is in your email where it should be, and this one on January 12th is with CBI young adult Gabriel Sandler, son of Jill and Alan, called Service After Peace Corps, Continuing Good Work Amidst the Pandemic, the Peace Corps in Madagascar. Then, that was Tuesday, then on Wednesday, January 13th at 7 p.m., please join all of us for a new installation of our series, Torah for Our Times. You'll remember the last one was about race relations over the summer. Rabbi Khan and I will be facilitating a timely conversation on the medical, ethical, and Jewish ideas related to the coronavirus vaccine. During our evening together, we will be fortunate to welcome our very own CBI member, Dr. Rebecca Sonnenschein, the medical director of Maricopa County Department of Public Health, and Rabbi Jason Weiner, who is the senior rabbi and director of the spirituality, like the chaplains, at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles. More information, including the Zoom link and registration, was in your email. There'll be another email coming out, but make sure you register. And just like we did last time, any questions that you'll have for the presenters, we invite you to ask those questions ahead of time on your registration form. Lastly, if Tuesday and Wednesday were not enough, Thursdays at 3, Coffee Talk is back. Join us for informal conversation, sharing about our lives, talking about the news, asking what everyone's having for dinner. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's not, but it's always relevant. So please, please, please join us for Coffee Talk. Lastly, you know the drill. If you are studying for your bar bat mitzvah, don't forget to let us know if you we're here for services and you need a sticker. We will continue to update, and let us know if there's anything else that you are in need of. If you need help with anything, that's what we are in fact here for. So with all of that, let's turn to Aleinu, page 586. Please stand if you are doing so. 586 or 282 at the bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, echad. We turn in our minds and in our hearts to thoughts of Kaddish, remembering those who have died in recent days and remembering those who have died at this time in years past, remembering all those whose faces we miss around the table, remembering those who are always in our stories, in our thoughts, and in our prayers. Tonight we are remembering the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest. We remember Harvey Dietrich, Marcia Handelman, Joel Schur, Harriet Esther Robbins, Judy Dalsey, Saul Moretsky, and Deborah Stairs. And we remember those of our congregational family whose yahrzeits occur this week. We remember Rebecca Abramson, Sidney Barbas, Robert Berger, Reuben Bernhard, Bernard Brickman, Theodore Cohen, Charles Adelheit, Joseph Feinstein, Michael Allen Foreman, Samuel First, David Glasser, Adele Goldstein, Jeanette Hamels, Bernard A. Kamenetz, David Kaminsky, Sylvia Cates, Leonard Krell, Beverly Kruglich, Max Lanton, Irvin H. Leva, Gerardo Marin, Herbert Maurer, David Mitchell, Alfred Press, Rose Rosenwein, Maxwell Ross, Henry Samplin, Max Schub, Sidney A. Seidberg, James Siegel, Jerry Sokol, Morris Solad, Hannah Stein, Sam Strauss, Morris Turkin, Sam Weingarten, Joseph Winokur, and James Wishneff. If there's someone else you are thinking of tonight for whom you are observing either the period of Shloshim or a yahrzeit, we invite you to put their names into the chat as well. We also remember the 6 million who perished in the Shoah, including the 1.5 million children who have no one to say Kaddish for them. And as always, we recall with admiration the soldiers and civilians of the State of Israel who have given their lives for our Jewish homeland. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may all of their lives be for a blessing. Let's turn to page 598 or 294 and stand for Kaddish Yatom. Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, D'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who are in mourning and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together, amen. I think we could all use a little extra prayer for peace. So let's think about the courage that we have to make the world a little more peaceful this week. Oh, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. All right, let's hold up our glasses for a little bit of Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, ve'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. What we have here, it's a challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us. Let's make the next week a really good week. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you in the morning.